Alright, now I want to show you how to hook up the computer to be able to display things on the television in the church building. Right now I'm back in the sound booth, the television's way up there, and I'm just setting up the church laptop here. So just put the laptop up here, and the things I need to plug into it are the power cable, and so I've just got the power cable plugged in to the power strip, the surge protector. And so I'm going to take this power cord and I'm going to plug it in to the side of the computer right there. And then as far as audio goes, to make sure we get the sound through the sound system, coming out of the back of the board here in channels 15 and 16, that's the red and the gray there. It's a 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch adapter, and what that means is that's called a 1/4 inch cable, and that's just plugged right in there. And then it's sort of that Y goes down to a single 1/8 inch plug, and it's a pretty long cord, so you sort of have to find it sometimes. But this is what's called an 1/8 inch. Let me see if I can focus on that any better. Alright, so that's called an 1/8 inch plug, and I'm still trying to focus. There we go. So that's an 1/8 inch plug. That's like your normal headphone jack. So anyway, that makes it so that we have a stereo signal from the laptop. And so this 1/8 inch plug plugs into the front part of the laptop where the headphone symbol is. See that right there? So I'm just going to plug that right in there, and that's going to give our audio signal to the soundboard. And then whenever we're going to want to play that, we will just take the channels 15 and 16 off mute. Notice it's been labeled miscellaneous mini cable. So 1/8 inch is also called mini jack. So we've got the power hooked up, we've got the audio hooked up. Last thing we need to hook up is the video. Currently we use this S-video cable. This is what S-video cable looks like. I'm going to try to get a clearer picture of that. Is it going to work? There we go. So that's S-video cable. And you want to be careful that we don't bend those pins when we put it in, because you can see this only goes in one way. It's got sort of a rectangle plastic peg, and then it's got these 4 metal pegs. And so that's going to plug in here on the right side of the computer, and you can see the S-video jack right there. And so I'm just going to make sure it's lined up, and I'm going to put it there and gently press it in, and we've got that set up. So those are the only 3 plugs we need to plug in. Then we can just lift up the laptop and push the power button, and while that's powering up, we're going to go turn on the monitor. Now the reason I did this is because I'm going to point out some problems that can happen with the monitor sometimes. Generally, just to be safe, you would want to turn the monitor on first so that it can for sure be recognized by the computer. But that doesn't even always work. So I'm going to go up here to the television. Now that S-video cable that we used for video, that goes in the back of the computer, then it goes down underneath the desk, and it goes up that wall right there into the attic, and it follows sort of along the same path as the snake that we looked at before, and it comes out here. So that smaller black cable that's off to the right there, that is the S-video cable, and that S-video cable then comes down behind the television, and it plugs in to the back of the television. And if we look back here, they've got a DVD player hooked up here as well. It's tough to see because of the poor lighting. But off to the left there, right here, is the S-video cable that comes out of the wall and was up in the attic. So if we look down here at the labels on the back of the TV, you should be able to see that it is currently plugged in video 1. So we should use video 1 input on the television. Now when we turn on the television, we just come up here, and there's the power button. We turn that on, you get that little red flashing light, and up in the top left corner of the television, once it turns on, you should see what input it's on. It's already on video 1. But sometimes if it's been used during the week or something for someone else to show a movie, it may have been changed from video 1. And so if you push open this door on the front of the television, you'll see these controls, and if you just push on this TV video button, it will cycle through the different inputs on the television. Input 3, 4. Now I warn you, if you get to the tuner and the volume's not turned down, then you might be scared when all of a sudden the volume comes on. Sometimes that can be loud, so you might want to turn down the volume before you cycle through. But if we're on video 1, then that's where we want to be, and now we can go back and make sure we're going to get our picture from the computer. And I'll show you a couple of snags that sometimes prevent the display from showing up there. They're really easy to fix. You just have to know that they're possible to go wrong. Now, this video is going to be a little longer because I'm going to try to do it in real time so that I can capture everything going on. So we're just going to use the mouse, click on the home screen. I'm going to go ahead and log in here, and you should be familiar with what the password is. I'm not going to put it out on the internet. Alright, I'm going to set this down while I type this in. Alright, so I got that. We've got that up there, and we can see that we see the background on the television. So this is already set up where it would work. However, I'm going to show you some things that would happen if it didn't work. So if this was on, but for some reason I wasn't getting that background up there, what I would want to look at is to make sure that my settings were correct to display the second screen. So if I just come here in Windows 8, and this is called the start screen, and if you're on the desktop, which you can get to by hitting Windows D, if you're on the desktop and you want to get back to the start menu, you can just hit this Windows button. That takes me to the start menu. Now I'm just going to start typing the word second, S-E-C-O-N-D. And I'm doing that because I want to talk to this computer about the settings for a second monitor. Now when I type that, it's searching in apps automatically, but if I go over here, I can just click on settings, and it says there's 2 hits under settings. Project to a second screen, set up computer to use multiple monitors. We're going to click on project to a second screen, and that's going to bring up these options. We can see that extend is highlighted, which is the one we want, and that makes sense because it is set up. But if it were on PC screen only, then this is what we would have been seeing. We'd be seeing that we've got the picture on the computer laptop, but we're not getting anything up on the television. And so to fix that, then I would be at the start screen. I would type in second, and then over here I would pick settings. I would go to project to second screen, and I would select extend, and all of a sudden I've got the screen up there. And what extend does is that makes the monitor up there, the computer thinks that it's a display extending to the right here. So if I move my mouse off to the right, you'd see it up there, and it's tiny, so I can't really make you see it dancing around up there, but it is up there. Okay, so that's the first problem. So now that we've got that fixed, or the potential problem, now that we've got that fixed, we can go to our desktop, and we can go and open Easy Worship. And in Easy Worship, we see that it is displaying up there, but sometimes what will happen is Easy Worship will only try to project the presentation on the primary monitor. And the way you would fix that is you would go into Live and Options, and under General it says Select Output Monitor. It is correctly selecting secondary monitor, but sometimes it might say primary monitor. I don't know what makes it do that, but sometimes it does. And if that happens, even though you've got a a schedule open here. Let's do one just for practice sake. We'll open one up. So even though I want to display this up on the screen and I double click on that video and it shows that it's live, I look up at the screen and it's not there. Where is it? I might try to minimize this a little bit. Oh wait, it's on this primary monitor. Okay, so then I know I need to go in here to live, and I need to go to options, and I need to go to output monitor, and I need to select secondary monitor. Click OK, and then just like that, it's up there where it's supposed to be. So that's how you hook up the laptop. That's how you turn on the television. That's how you select the correct input on the television, and that's how you handle the most common problems that happen whenever you're not getting the picture you want up on the television. Now, just to make sure that you see that we can have sound, over here on the sound we do see that the signal's coming through, and that's because we do have the audio cable hooked up appropriately. And if we just unmute these, you can hear the sound of the video. And that's how you hook up the computer to the monitor and you get sound.